Hello, welcome to Day Down at Report Big App. Local CEO kind of Cavness HR. Cavness HR, you provide HR coming born out of fear of people, the platform to automate HR while providing their own very own dedicated HR business partner. Right now, we're doing what I'm calling the Jason Cavness Experience culture we see at a Diffie. Being powered by Earth BC. Earth BC is on a myth, unfuck the Earth. They're doing it by supporting breakthrough scientific research, empowering outlier founders to build enduring climate businesses, and invest in high growth stars. Get that is Mark Anthony Marquez, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot to ask you how to say your name.
Yeah, Mark Anthony Marquez.
Well, how you doing today?
Good. Excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me and just making the sign.
Yeah. So, both part of stuff okay.
Sure.
So talk about either 80 subject, like how you take care of yourself with mentally or physically, or what do you fun, kind of your hobby, those kind.
Okay. So, well, I'm sort of a, let's say, fitness freak in the sense that I go to the gym. I play pickleball because pickleball, like the state, is very big in Vietnam. I first got into it when my in-law would actually play every morning, and my husband will actually play with them. And then I've also been doing kickboxing, Muay Thai for the past, I would say, 6 years now. So I don't fight. I just love to train with no items.
And so it's kind of crazy to me how big pickleball is over here, right?
Yes, it's insane.
I had no idea how big pickleball is here, right?
So just a bit of background. So we started playing in the States, and then we would go back to Phnom Penh because we were based in Cambodia for 12 years, and we're always like, oh my God, there's no port. And then we moved here last July, and we're like, every single apartment complex almost has their own pickleball court, and there's a lot of like courts that have like 10 to 15 courts in them, and it's crazy. It's like so big, probably the biggest in the region right now.
Why do you think it came so big here?
Probably, I would say, I'm not sure, I don't know the data, but it probably because of the Viet Cus, like the Vietnamese Americans. Because like a lot of them, especially during summer or like winter in the States, would come here and they will just like play. And now it's like a big industry in Vietnam.
So like I'm super curious about pickleball. Is it like this? It's a taller tennis court? Like what? It's like a different paddle? Like what? What?
So it's a different paddle. They say it's not as strenuous as tennis. I think because I haven't played tennis. I never played tennis, but I'm always dead after that. So it's great cardio. It's like it's great if you'll play with the partners. So just like four of you, like you play doubles, and then yeah, like it's like a somewhere in between table tennis and tennis. Yeah.
Be playing.
2 to 3 times a week now lately. Also because our apartment has a pickleball court.
So like how long is it it's like a 10 match you like score 6-1, 3-2. It's like how long is the chips on
So
that?
it's a race to 11. It can go from, let's say, like, no joke, like 10 to 15 minutes per game. So it's like quick, but you don't really realize how much cardio you do. So it's a great workout.
Let me make a prediction. What year will pickleball be in the Olympics?
Probably the next Olympics.
Think so?
Because wait, the last Olympics was this year, right? In Paris. Yeah, and then next one will be in LA.
Yeah.
So
2028.
yeah. Especially Americans, Yeah, for sure Americans will find a way to push it.
It is insane that like pickleball came out of nowhere. Like
But then also, so my husband was telling me he would used to play that when he was young. So it's been a thing in the US for forever, and then it just picked up again because of like retirees. And then now, like everyone, because even in the Philippines, I have a lot of friends who are really playing it on the daily now. So, yeah, I mean, it's fun, right? So, like lesser pressure with tennis, I guess.
yeah, with tennis, like you get an FA at the wrong angle, your knee's gonna pop.
Yeah, but and also like I was about to say cheaper, but then no, not really, because paddles can cost around, like a good one would be like $100 or oh, so it's not really.
And one thing people don't realize, like I don't care what your hobby is, if you're walking, it's gonna cost money, right?
Yeah, you have your Lululemon, you have your
Yeah.
On Cloud, like Yeah, depends on how crazy you are.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So let's talk about some of the opportunities per person. So you married to another guy.
Yes.
I know this me looking outside, I could be wrong. It's like we see like Vietnam's not the best, place you'd be at, right?
Yeah.
As far as like culture, like in the States, there's all this stuff going on. There's like pro, whatever you want to use, this pro that,
Yeah.
them that live, whatever. But here in Vietnam, I would think looking outside of that, it might be some challenges for you.
I would disagree. So every time, so we would go home to the States because my husband's from Georgia, the deep South. We would go home once or twice a year, and there's and this is from a personal point of view, like there's always that fear, and I'm Asian, so it's like double whammy, you know. But then there's always that fear of discrimination. I think especially before COVID, I remember we had to cancel marching at New York City Pride because of the bomb threats probably like 3 years ago. So, but then in Southeast Asia, for some reason, whether it be Cambodia, Vietnam, Thailand, they just passed the bill for same-sex marriage. Vietnam, Philippines, we felt safer here, if I may say.
Now, do you think you feel safer in South? Like me, I've never felt safer than Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
I'll be walking around a place, I'll be in an alleyway, I'm like, okay. But other states, I'll be kind of scared right now, right?
Right.
So do you think that's part of it and not the other thing?
I don't know too, but then also because maybe so we worked for 12 years in Cambodia. So it's like, of course, the community is small because smaller population. But then here, you just see like, like the community everywhere. So it kind of normalizes for us here. Like we go to the grocery store, we in our apartment complex, like we go out, like we eat out, everyone is there. So it's like, it gives us that sense of normalcy compared to like, I mean, the States, yeah, everywhere is there, but then it's just ends, right? Especially when it comes to, like drag queens, as of late, like transgen, the trans community, like their fights, like it's always been tense. Yeah.
So, and let's make this up. I think from the States are like, okay, we're so light and so above everyone else. And I think for Vietnam, they're behind the times. Obviously, they can't be open to these kind of communities, these different type of people. What would you tell them?
Honestly, y'all are missing out. I would say that in the sense that maybe and probably we've been lucky, so that can be a case. But then, honestly, I felt safe in Southeast Asia, just being myself.
Yeah.
Also because another layer, and it's kind of controversial because like firearms, it's not a common thing in Southeast Asia, like to carry your own, right? You don't have it in your tuk-tuk, or you don't have it in your motorcycle.
Yeah.
You don't have it in your car here. So I think that adds a layer of like, that takes out that layer of fear.
Here, if you're gonna fight, you do your fist. In the States, you might fight with fist and pull out guns seconds later.
And it's game over.
Yeah.
But here it's just like, okay, just worst case scenario, yeah, fist, like a fist fight, but then rarely happens, anyway.
Yeah, this my friend. I've seen the whole confrontation. I'm sure there's confrontation people here. I'm sure there's bad people here. I just haven't seen it, right? I mean,
Yeah, same thing. I think we've been lucky, so knock on wood. Yeah.
stories. So how has like what's the correct? Was it LGBTQ plus?
LGBTQ.
Okay, in the state they had all these letters and
Yeah.
things like, what in the world, even like keeping communicating can feel like, what's the W doing here? What's this doing here, right?
But also what's funny is, and because educating people is also part of being part of one's community, right? And then and I think I am guilty as well in the sense that, for example, when trans rights was really getting traction and everyone's talking about it, I myself had to educate myself into like what it is, because people keep coming to you or going to you for answers, and I myself am not clear on anything. So, and I think maybe find, let's say, comfort in that even the whole community is trying to, and every day educate ourselves to make sure we are, supporting, giving support to the people that actually need support.
Yeah. Do you think this thing is going too far with it? For example, I know I'm in the Seattle area is like left leaning, like
Right.
the state of Washington only place in the United States that went to the left, everyone else went right, right?
Yeah.
And there's a thing like in the elementary school, they're teaching the kids like gender will.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, to me, I think that's too far, right? That's my opinion, right? Like,
I think it's of course it's a matter of perspective, preference, and someone's background. So for us, for me personally, I don't think I personally think it's not too far because at the end of the day, it's a matter of like, will you take it or not, right? It's just there. But then for me, I firmly believe that there is importance in putting it out there because the more we talk about it, the more we expose it, the more it becomes normalized, the more we take out all this, prejudices against.
let's talk about this, right? So I have several friends in the community, right? And there's a stereotype out there that like, you go to deep South, Texas, Georgia, oh, you're a faggot, you're homosexual, you punk bitch. But everyone I know goes there like, oh my God, everyone treat me so friendly, so nice.
Yeah.
They treat me like a human being. Can you talk about why they, why do you think stereotypes out there and why it's so believed false?
The South. Okay. Unpopular opinion. So my sister-in-law they live in New Jersey, it's like the North. We've been to New York City because it's like the easiest flight out of Southeast Asia. I would say I don't like the North, like DC area, New York City. I will not live there, but I will live in the South. Also because the South reminds me a lot of the Philippines, the hospitality, the familiarity with everyone. Yeah, and then they're just so friendly. I mean the weather too. It's hot, right? So I don't know. I think it just really goes with that idea of like if you don't expose yourself, of course you have all this, like what I said, prejudices about a certain subject or a certain concept, and it will never change unless you experience it firsthand.
Yeah, I know it's funny. So I don't know. Let me Seattle now, right? You go to the store, everyone's like
Hippies,
no
right?
talks to you, right?
Yeah.
Or I go to Texas, I go to like HEB. Hey, darling, how you doing? Okay, I'm not in Seattle no more.
And I love the South, but then this is too much because they'll be like talking to you or the person in front of you for like 20 minutes, and you're like,
I got somewhere to go.
ma'am, I just need my sandwich.
Yeah, please. I know you're talking about your kids, Boy Scouts, whatever, and or it's worse, like they don't
And
admit. Yeah.
And also, this is the first time I met you, so it's like that's too much information. But yeah, but I love the South. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So, how would you convince someone who's like anti-LGBTQ to like, I won't say be on your side, but like maybe educate them? Like someone's like, I'm forever like, the Bible says this, the Bible says that, blah blah blah. Like you just say, okay, that's your mindset. There's nothing to do to try to change your mind. You try to educate. Like, how do you approach that?
It's a tricky question, right? Because it's like, one part of me believes that it is my, responsibility or duty to like, what you call that, educate people. But it's also like, y'all are grown. Like at this point, it's 2024. Everyone is in, like in mass media, in the internet. And it's like, there are people who'll be like, oh my God, you're like, not what I'm thinking. So so I find, let's say, good things with those kind of people who can actually have that conversation. But I know of people, and I've experienced, and I've talked to people who there's just no explaining, and like, how do you explain? It's the basic fundamentals of it, of like, it's a human life. Like, and for them, it's just, I'm sorry, but it's just a matter of entitlement, right? They just think, I mean, that idea of everything is lesser than me is because I think I am better than everyone else. And who are you to say that, especially now? And like, but again, there is no explaining to people who are not open to, especially to people who, I would say, traveling is a big part of it. If you haven't traveled I mean, I came from like a suburban Manila, but then, so I had the things that I believed in before, and it completely changed as I traveled the world. So did you. But then there are a lot of people, like how many millions of Americans stayed in their small towns?
So many, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree completely. Most people like these limited mindsets. they might travel 20 miles or, like,
And then they'll be like, oh my God, I've been, like, I'm expanding my horizon in 20 miles. But then the whole mentality is still the same. It's anti LGBTQ, anti, let's say, person of color. It's everything, right? So I can't blame them because that's all they grew up with.
that's how they were taught. So,
Yeah. So it's also like that. Yeah, but like,
yeah. So you probably know the stat, but you have another stat that it's like the divorce rates for, like, straight people versus non-straight people. Is it better or worse, or about the same?
I do not know
Let's find that out.
yeah, I do not know the statistics on that. But then, like, I mean, divorce is like it's dare I say normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right? It's just like it's just so hypocritical to me. Like this Christian loving people will be like, but then you see them outside. Like, because I know people, like people in the South are like, no, the Bible says this, the Bible says that. But sir, you have a mistress or a man,
Yeah.
you're like pulling
Oh, you're picking and choosing the Bible verse, right?
yeah,
It says like it says this over here.
you're fitting it in to what is convenient for you.
I agree. Yeah. This is crazy. So I just saw this joke. So back in the States, they're doing all the 76 marriage laws, right?
Yeah.
I can remember the name of this comedian got a lot of trouble, right? He was like kind of like anti-gay, whatever, right? He was against it. He was
Dave Chappelle.
maybe it was right. He's some white dude,
I know.
and he was like he was against like the same stuff, right? And so you get a lot of blasts. So you get a conversation. He say, "Hey, I'm gonna talk about them. I'm glad blasted. It's not I'm against gay marriage. I'm against all marriage, right?" And everybody started laughing, right? Like I'm against all marriage. No one's getting married.
Well, that's not for him to decide, right?
Yeah, no, they're not. Yeah, no, not. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. But I do understand. It's just like trying to find a common ground of like, because it's not fair that we have the burden of proof almost in this whole discussion, right? We have the burden of proof when in fact we're not the ones against anyone.
Yeah.
So as soon as we raise our voice, as soon as we cuss, as soon as we put a little attitude into how we say things, people perceive us as angry, as just
What do
angry.
you expect? Like you try to do it peacefully, nothing happens.
Exactly. Or you raise your voice and nothing happens. They'll be like, "Oh, you're too defensive.
Yeah.
I can get through you." So it's like there's really no winning.
I don't know. It's probably like in the '60s had this protest in New York City, where all the rights and all the stuff started happening. You remember what's that?
Well, Stonewall.
Stonewall, yeah.
Yeah.
Did Vietnam have the version of Stonewall?
No, I'm not. I'm not sure of. I'm not sure of. I don't think Southeast Asia really did, and I think it's all okay. Again, oh my God, people might attack me, but like, but maybe it's because of that. Because the West is known to be individualistic, and we're known to cater for, the community. I think especially Vietnam. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but then because of the socialist and the communist legacies in the country, so I don't think they have. But having that said, I would say as a gay man, the country is at the very least very tolerating, if not accepting of the community. We feel safe. I felt safe in the country, so just thankful for that.
This something for you, and hopefully I said right. So a lot of times, especially in America, there's this thing, you're a straight man, straight woman married, and you question like, what do you do if your son or daughter comes and says I'm gay, right? How do you handle it, right? Well, Chris, to you, with you and your husband being gay, what if you adopt a son or daughter and they say, hey, dad, I'm straight?
I will disown that. I'm sorry for everyone. That is a joke. That is a joke. Lighten up. No, of course, like it's their choice,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
who am I to impose something on my child when I rejected everything
Yeah.
that my parents, my family, the society was telling me or imposing on me? But thank God we've decided not to have a child, so we're saving ourselves
Okay.
from that conversation and from that head.
Okay.
Yeah, but and if we do have whatever it is, whoever it is, whatever they want, yeah.
So anything else you want to talk about the subject before we move on?
No, it's just like, but Vietnam is very, I would say, community friendly, very safe, uh, and the nightlife is amazing. I would
That's like I get off with that. So next, let's talk about you working in Cambodia.
Sure.
So you was there for 12 years.
Yes.
So tell the story about that. Like of all the places in Cambodia, right?
Right.
I mean, of course, it's Southeast Asia, kind of close to the Philippines, but man, this
Right.
I tell you right now, if you tell me, give you a list of 100 countries I want to go do business in,
Right.
Cambodia is probably not getting on the list.
Right.
To talk about that.
Okay, so fresh out of college, I worked for IBM back in the Philippines, and then Manila traffic is just like really, I mean, it's way terrible now, but then it's like you spend an hour at least one way, and then over the weekend, you'll choose if you'll go out or just not go out. And then I was like, there's got to be more to life than this. So my best friend in college started working for an advertising agency in Phnom Penh. So before she made her first year there, I decided to spend the holidays with her. And no joke, was supposed to spend 5 weeks with her on my supposed flight date back to Manila was my first day at my first gig in Phnom Penh. Told my parents the night before and I was like, you know what? I'm starting a new life. Saw them after a year. And then met my husband not long after. And yeah, it's been 12 years.
So you met him in Cambodia?
Yeah.
So this random dude from Georgia,
Yeah.
that's him in Cambodia. I mean, I don't know if you believe in fate or God or
Not
or
one.
something. Yeah, like
Right? Because we were talking, 'cause I'm also like from a small town. He's from a small town as well. And the chances that we met in a third country, and it's not even I mean, quote unquote exciting, like Bangkok or like, or like other like,
Yeah.
European countries. But then we met in Phnom Penh, and actually we met, so we've been talking online. So we're Grindr babies. We met on Grindr. We're talking online for 3 weeks, but we actually met because he went out of town with a new friend that I met the night before they went out of town. So if it's
I
not,
mean, like I'm a big believer. Like I call them decisions.
I am a believer.
All these things that had to happen, right? Just imagine one little thing like goes off. Like he decided. I mean, what if a plane got delayed or like a traffic light? And there's so many things happen
Yeah.
on a perfectly, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's just like perfectly is crazy.
Yeah, like what they say, you are exactly where you need to be. And I think and I believe that we were exactly where we needed to be, How about you? Like, do you have, I saw a ring. Is that okay to like bring it up?
Yeah. I'm married. I've been married I got married in '95.
Okay.
Been married for a long time. Got 3 grown kids.
So they're all in Seattle or?
So the oldest one's in the Dallas area.
Okay.
She works for Southwest Airlines. She's married.
Grandkids?
Yeah, 2 grandkids. 4-year-old and 1-year-old. He's 1 year. He's 1 year.
Yeah.
Other daughter lives in Seattle area. Son lives in Westfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the wife?
So she works at a school district.
Okay.
And so, man, this is the wrong term. I don't know the correct term, but back in my day, we would call like mentally retarded kids. So the kids, yeah, I don't know the right special ed kid now. I don't know what the right term is.
Good term. And I didn't hear what you say.
Mentally retarded kid.
I don't think we're supposed to share that now.
I have no idea. I have no idea the term. It's slow kids, whatever. So just work with them, right? But they're like a little slower. So they're
Special needs.
special
kids.
needs.
Yeah.
So the special needs, but they're not special needs, right? So they graduate from high school, whatever.
Okay.
But they're not ready for the world, right? So it's a program that's going on for 18 to 21 years old, right?
Okay.
And they teach them basically like how to order a McDonald's burger or like, basic stuff like that.
No, I know that.
And it's like one teacher for every 4 kids,
I kind of know that because my sister-in-law is a sped teacher in New Jersey.
Okay.
So her lovely children are like that, ranging from nonverbal to, but she loves it. Yeah, and
it was kind of interesting to me. That's a part of coincidence. All the kids in this like little program, they're all like filthy rich, right? And it's like,
I mean, one, because you have to in the States, right?
yeah. And it's almost like these parents almost enable them sometimes, Just, I don't know.
Maybe. But then, actually, I would say it's kind of like, if not the same level in Asia, kind of worse in Asia. It's like here, rich parents are known, even on like a normal case, to just like throw money,
Yeah.
and then just like and then worse is like if their kids are special needs, you know.
Yeah. So that's more like this. She enjoys me doing it. So yeah.
That's a noble job.
Yeah, definitely don't pay enough money, right?
True.
Yeah, that's there. Yeah. So this is important. So in Cambodia, y'all met as friends in wars. Are you both work in the same area or like?
So he used to be a professor in one of the universities in Cambodia. He loves education. I worked in advertising and marketing my whole life. Uh, so yeah, so no, it's just like because we were there, we met 2013, where the expat community is still relatively small. So you know everyone almost. Phnom Penh is like way smaller than Ho Chi Minh, obviously. Anyway, so you get to know people. So yeah, where it's just like meeting one person to yeah.
So I'm gonna ask this question wrong again, but you know, in the United States, we have this like certain like look at us, like we think we're above everyone else, and then like we kind of look down, like
You said it.
yeah, and, you know, and like we'll kind of look, oh, I really came to feel like you know what the fuck you on Vietnam for? What's there, right? So I kind of look down Vietnam. People in Vietnam kind of look down on Laos and Cambodia.
Oh, that I do not know. That I do not know.
Like we're this tech hub coming up, we're the startup hub coming up. Everyone's coming here. Laos and Cambodia, you're like this primitive
Yeah.
type of country.
That I do not know. But then also, I think historically, there is, oh my God, please, like my Cambodian friends do not hate me, but like there's always been a tension between the Vietnamese and Cambodians historically. Yeah. So, and I think it's been passed on until now. There's some, issues, but I don't think it to that level.
And what year were you in Cambodia?
2012 till early this year.
You might not know this either, but I know like back in the 70s or 80s, some year, that dictator killed like millions of Cambodians, right?
Yeah.
Do you still see the after effects of that
Yeah.
tragedy? That's still like after effect and like people dealing with that still, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I think especially when we first started dating and we just started working in Phnom Penh, the day so as an expat, and you know this, Jason, you will, even if you don't want to, you will live in a bubble, right? But then on your on the daily, like at your workplace, and this is like a story that's so vivid in my memory. Probably around 2016, we were like talking. It's like, hey, how's your to my to my peer? And it's like, just tell me about your family, la 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 la. And then she was like, oh yeah, so my father used to have like 7 or 8 siblings. Now he's the only one alive. It's like, oh, what happened? And then it's because of like everyone was like, lost their lives during during that period. Or like the main street in Phnom Penh is where everyone marched during that unfortunate event. And it's just like it will hit you in the face. Or like stories like we were at the minister's house, and then she was just like, I was like, oh my God, tell me about your family in like in the wall. And she's like, so I lost this sister in Vietnam. I lost this. So really, it's like living, like having that after effects. It's like you get to hear secondhand, like the story that, oh, like, yeah, but then they're all just like really humble about it. Like really open about it, which is you get to appreciate, because they'll be like, yeah, I came from a refugee camp in Bangkok, in Thailand, in the border. I came from a refugee camp. Like I had to stay somewhere, and then but now you see them, they're very successful, So it's like it's very really inspirational, like seeing how not just them, but then how their family went from that period in time to where they are now.
I don't almost realize how much war this era. Like people all know about American war or Vietnam, but they forget it. 20 to that they fought the France. Then we find the Chinese forever, right? Like this era has, unfortunately, has a history of warfare for centuries.
Yes, and I think like in the region, right? So Vietnam is very let's say, prominent when it comes to American politics. I mean, not just now, of course, with the South China Sea issue, but then even before because of the Vietnam War. But then most, if not all Americans, what they don't know is like Cambodia has experienced tremendous loss because of the same war. But then it was
And people forget that. I think I could make this up. I think somewhere in the 70s, Richard Nixon decided to bomb Cambodia too as part of
Yes.
the campaign, right? People don't realize that, or they don't know, don't forget, whatever, but
yes, because the American government or army or military thought that the Vietnamese is evacuating to Cambodian soil, so they just decided and correct my history if I'm wrong, but then they decided to bomb the Cambodia as a country as well. As a matter of fact, there are still right now a lot of let's say initiatives, organizations that are debombing the country because there are still like people losing their limbs, their lives because of the bombs that were from the 70s.
and Agent Orange, Scrabble, never seen it
Oh,
back
don't
during
even.
the
Yeah, because for sure you've been to the War Museum in Ho Chi Minh, right? So that was like one of the hardest.
Yeah. War is not a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Both sides are horrible things. That,
Yeah.
So, from your point of view, what are some pros and cons of living and working in Cambodia?
The pro definitely was as an expat, we came in the perfect time wherein the country needed, highly skilled employees or workers, and we were there to fill that space. So, for example, I would have not made all the advancements I've had in marketing and advertising if I was not in Phnom Penh. I quickly went up the ladder just also because I was like, I benefited from, being a foreigner, speaking English well, relatively, So, but then the cons would be during that time, it was same side of, same side of the coin or whatever. Same token, workforce was not that competitive. So it was very frustrating, but also we have to understand that it goes back to the recent, with their recent history with with the civil war that they went through. That's why, education was not that good back then and things like that.
So, next, talk some more about your marketing background and how does it help you with your startup?
Yes. Okay. So I've worked in advertising and marketing, big and small, regional, international firms in Cambodia. So, I started actually as a management trainee in one of the Cambodian local agencies, and then just slowly made my way up until running agencies really. And then I did my MBA in Illinois. So I just finished earlier this year. And then when my husband got a job in Vietnam, I've always wanted to start my own venture. And then everything was just clicking. Like, Vietnam is a tech hub. It's a bigger market. I just finished my MBA. So I feel like I'm geared towards starting my own and just a fresh start for me. Advertising is good. I've learned a lot of things, but I have such PTSD in the industry because it's high stress and like I've given a chance and the choice, I will never go back because it's insane how it just takes a toll on you mentally, emotionally. And having that said, so I just wanted to find my own and create my own.
So, can you talk about the points of data and data analytics and numbers in marketing? A lot of people too think they think marketing, you run a Facebook ad campaign, you're doing some kind of PR stunt, but like everything else, HR, everything business related, you got to have data. Talk about how you use data.
Also, yeah. So, a part of one of the agencies that I work with is a very data-driven marketing firm. So what we did actually is like a full funnel. So especially I think 5 years ago, it was when people are talking about data-driven marketing, but it's essentially just because traditional marketing, imagine it to simply put like, okay, you see a billboard or you see TV, but but then when we say it's not measurable, because we can't really measure it, right? How many people? Yes, of course, there's like market research that says, you know, a small subset of people or like a sample watches your get to see your commercial, but like really, how do you measure like a TV spot, a radio spot, print, billboard? But then with the advent of like, let's say, paid advertising, social media advertising, you get to actually know how many people sees like, let's say, 5 seconds of your 30-second video, how many people from that first view of your first, let's say, video commercial will be taken down to really buying your product. So it's measurable in the sense that we can tell how many people came from which channel, let's say YouTube, like Facebook, or like Instagram and things like that. So really, data-driven marketing is just connecting the dots between where did your consumer online came from and how much you spent to convince them to pay for your product.
So from your point of view, what do most people, specifically like startup entrepreneurs, startup founders, get wrong about marketing?
That everyone needs to be on online marketing, because it depends, right? Because especially it depends for your business model. If you're B2C, yes, of course, I get it. You have to be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever your consumers are. But then B2B especially, right? Aside from LinkedIn, what is really the most platform that is?
I mean, maybe X, maybe, you know.
I mean, not in the region though. Yeah, but really, it's like, it's a matter of, because people, especially, so I had that background and I joined Founder Institute. One of our, let's say, classes or whatever is all about, your go-to-market, and everyone is all about, okay, Facebook ad, or like TikTok ad. And I'm always like, and I tell the people I was with, it's like, who are your customers and what are you trying to do? It's like, it's easy to say, I need a paid advertisement online, but do you really need it? Yeah.
Here's a quick question for you, off shop. I feel like I kind of on, but off. What do you think happened with Snapchat? I mean, Snapchat was the biggest thing back in the day.
Yeah.
I know part of it, like Mark Zuckerberg copied and like started with you for Instagram, but like, everyone back in the day used to use Snapchat, right?
Yeah.
I used to use it. I would do geo filters, something else like. Somehow they have like 500,000 users across the world.
Correct.
But I don't know anyone who uses Snapchat.
Correct.
What do you think happened to them? Or just use a different customer base they have now again?
No, because like the Snapchat users were Instagram users as well. But then I think what Snapchat failed to do was to become a part of an ecosystem, which Instagram was. So because Instagram, that started where you can cross post from your Instagram to Facebook.
Yeah.
So it's like a one-stop shop almost that connects your different social media profiles. So that Snapchat stayed, and also Snapchat stayed with being like, you have this 10 seconds to view it or it's gone.
It's like
right?
more AR, VR focus out of it.
Exactly. But then I think it also was before they monetized it really. But then Instagram has always been.
I'm like, who was using who is it? 250 million years lose a day using Snapchat. Who are these people there, right?
Mostly Americans for sure.
yeah. No one I know is using it.
Yeah.
So two-part question. Do you have a favorite social media for business? And then you have a favorite social media just like personal use?
Yes, I mean, I'm a millennial, so obviously, So obviously I have my, right now Instagram, because Facebook is just, do you realize that you don't really see your Facebook friends' status updates anymore? It's all ads. It's crazy.
Some random person I've seen in 10 years or something, or it's controversial, I see it, right?
Yeah, correct, right. So when I started with data-driven marketing, I remember the pitch that I would go to the different companies and brands, right? Like every 8 posts you see on Facebook is an ad. So that was like 5 years ago. Now, every 8 posts you see is your friend status update. So now I like even in on Instagram I don't see my friends, but then it's just like the reels.
And it would come and seem like, you don't see anybody's update unless like somebody, famous,
Right. Yeah.
Kanye West or some football player, if you're pinned with somebody like Joe Brown from high school, you might see his post like never,
Never. And you never saw it. And like, did you realize as well, especially during like 2 weeks leading on the US elections, you never see anything, but just ads, which is good. But then you just never saw anything. Like not your friends, not a political related advertisement, but just like different commercial ads, which is
No,
good.
you're right. So how often do you post on Facebook now?
I don't that
Yeah, me, I don't like
more.
I'm like right now the podcast, the live stream I'm on
Yeah.
Facebook, so that I post Facebook stuff, put podcast stuff on there, but so I'll probably do a photo of my Vietnam trip. I'll dump those photos on there one day, but yeah, I really,
Yeah.
like I have a couple of ants I communicate with on there in the 70s,
Because I think, and this is unpopular opinion, but like I think gone are the days when people want everyone to know what they're doing, where they're going. Because now, like I don't know, like almost like everyone's like trying to do everything in their on their own time, space, quietly.
So I'm probably getting some hate for this, but this is one of my peeves on LinkedIn. Is like, to me,
Oh my God, tell me about
it's
it.
so cringy. Like someone will put, I'm so happy I can announce I got a job. Like, okay. Or I'm so happy to announce that blah, blah, blah. Like, really? Like, this to me is so crazy, right?
And can we talk about how LinkedIn is now the new Facebook?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, right?
Yeah,
And
Facebook.
I mean, I hear you in your pet peeve. My pet peeve is just like people taking like an article from whatever Times, Bloomberg, and having an opinion about it. And I'm like, I know you in person. You never really have this kind of opinion
Yeah, right. Yeah.
before ChatGPT.
All right.
I mean, I'm sometimes
Yeah, no pet peeve of mine too. Like these people, they write these like, I'm not exaggeration, 100,000 word article. Like, dude, do you think I'm gonna read this?
right? Like,
No. Like, give me the clip notes. Like, do it for a video. Like, I'm not reading this, right?
but what kills me, and for sure you've seen this, that's like a job post in their company, and the image that they posted is an image of themselves looking good with like a copy that says, we're looking for a new account manager. And that person is just like really posing for the camera. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of fakeness going on.
Yeah.
Right.
But definitely. Social media, 100%.
All this, yeah, come work for me with the best company or like,
That's the red flag, huh?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's happier now. It's killed me too. Like, how, like, you have people that are like, they'll put, my time with X companies coming in, had such a great time.
And I'm like, no one cares.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, but
It's
like,
true. Odds are that you probably got fired. And I know you try not to burn bridges.
can we talk about that?
Yeah.
It's like,
They are like, okay, this company got rid of you. Either you got laid off, terminated, or you quit, like you leaving the company. So why are you giving this company free publicity? Another thing, a lot of people, for some reason, your LinkedIn is your profile. It's not your company, right?
right.
Like, it's supposed to be for you. So don't be pressured when you come to say, hey, Jason, put something about the company networking event last night.
Right.
No.
Or like, no, I just saw a LinkedIn post exactly what you were saying. Like, my time with this company has unfortunately came to an end. But like, as I look forward to family, gym, and travel. I'm like, sir, you got laid off.
Yeah.
And there's no, and it's personal preference, but it's like, just have that narrative instead of like this bed of roses, but really everyone knew you got laid off because you're incompetent.
One thing I will give LinkedIn credit for, and actually a fan of this, like when people go on there, and of course you have to watch how you word it.
Yeah.
You can come back to your need, but people are like, hey, LinkedIn family needs some help. I'm on for 6 months for my job skills. Can you share it? That I support that totally, right?
Because it's the hustle, right? And I respect that. It takes a lot of courage.
You
One,
gotta be humble. You go inside.
yeah, to want to just put that open to work frame, right? And then, but then really it's another layer to post about it.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, I support that because like they're trying to hustle. They're trying to make money.
And I do want to clarify one thing. Like, it's not I'm just keep posting. Like, Like before you only have 100 connector, right? Like post stuff, right? Put stuff out there, but make it relevant, make it like value
Right.
add, like make like maybe like I got to time for a job, do a video series of a day in life trying to find a job, or do a blog post saying, hey, I did this right.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll just add, for me, it's just that just be real, because it's obviously fake. Like,
Yeah, too many LinkedIn posts were like me. I did this, I did that.
Yeah.
Not no giving value, helping people out. This, I did this, I did that.
and again, unpopular opinion, no one really cared like that you retired and now you're like in the Bahamas. Like, that's for Facebook.
Exactly right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people will hate me after this, but don't care.
Yeah, LinkedIn's definitely a different story. And the thing with LinkedIn, like I have a hate-love relationship. Like the best thing what I'm trying to do, but man, some of the stuff you do, like, are you trying to boost customers? Like the UX sucks. Like, have you ever used Sales Navigator?
No, I haven't.
So Sales Navigator, I used a couple of times. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, but you send a message on Sales Navigator, right?
Yeah.
And so you shut down Sales Navigator. Like 2 months later, someone will reach out, hey, I don't Sales Navigator.
Okay, yeah.
Here's a message, right? But since I don't have Sales Navigator anymore, I can't check the message, right?
Yeah.
And then if we purchase Sales Navigator, all the stuff from the past is gone. Like,
I totally agree. Yeah. Yeah, but then I think, people should reevaluate how they post on LinkedIn, because it used to be like really the place to like go for, if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for real connection to use professionally. But then now it literally is Facebook 2.0.
so this is when I knew LinkedIn had changed, right? This happened a while ago, right? And like people start both like doing Facebook things, right? They go, oh, from a LinkedIn, this is LinkedIn. And so I'm not saying this right or wrong, but so this young lady, she posted a 2-minute video of herself getting with the towel on a shower with a dog shaking her, right? You're like, what the fuck is this, right?
And everyone does that now.
But then somebody kept, oh, wow, you think about this wrong. She's showing her bubbly personality, how she's upbeat, personal, and loves dogs, right? Like, they were like, no, we don't see that, So when she posted that video, okay, big thing has changed a lot. I guess big things changed, right?
And then everyone just followed after that. I mean, good for them, because they obviously get satisfaction and gratification from that. But maybe it's for our detriment, Jason, that we're not doing that.
Maybe so, yeah.
Probably. I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I cannot do it.
And so what's your you might already answer this, but what's your personal social media platform you the most?
Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
for business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Instagram, just to post like once in a while.
Okay.
If I'm in a new place. Also just to like update my mother. So I use Messenger just to talk to her.
Yeah. It's crazy now, like back in the day, like if you want to possibly use a phone, right? Phone on mail. Now you're okay. This person only information on Facebook. This one only on text.
Instagram.
This person on Instagram. Like, damn, like all these hundreds of people, like all communicate in a different way. In your mind, you got to know how to communicate with them.
Or talking to the same person in different channels with different conversations happening simultaneously.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. It's like I have friends, my husband, we will have a different conversation that's happening at the same time on Facebook Messenger and on Instagram chat. And we're like, yeah, just sounds about right.
Crazy. And so how long have y'all been here in Vietnam?
No. So we just moved end of July. So
Pretty recent.
yeah. That's like 5 months. Yeah, almost 5
And the main reason because your husband's job.
Yeah,
Here.
yeah. So he's the executive director for American Chamber of Commerce Vietnam.
Okay.
So he got the job, and I've been wanting to move anyway because it's been 12 years. So we decided it's the right move for the both of us, for him especially professionally, and for me to find my own venture.
Yeah. So talk about the experience of moving here.
It's easy. And I think Vietnam is close to the Philippines and to Cambodia, so we would come often. We've always loved Ho Chi Minh. Food is amazing. So I think it's easy. So it's good, and we're trying to make it great.
So we're talking the city. I mean, like, Fyodor, that's how big the city is. All the stuff to do here. The food's amazing. Of course, the driving is freaking ridiculous, though. The driving.
Are you driving
yet?
No, and I don't think I will.
Yeah.
So back in Phnom Penh, we didn't have our own cars, just also because there's no need. So we have our own motorbikes. We got comfortable after that, probably like 2 years into it. And then, I mean, living in the country. But then here, I don't think I will drive my own motorbike. I was looking forward to getting my second-hand or third-hand Vespa because it's cheaper here. But I don't think I will.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And one of my good friends who lives now in Da Nang, he was just in an accident. He's driving his own motorcycle, really just like not doing anything out of the ordinary. And yeah, he just went he undergone a surgery. Like,
Yeah, I can't see it driving. It's like these people come literally every day, 1,000 times a day, into some death every day.
and they have zero patience.
Yeah.
Like, sir, where are we going? I am not in a hurry. Like, it's okay. But then they're honking like nobody's business. Like, it's crazy.
So I'm here with February 10th. I've asked this to everyone, all my guests. What are some things you recommend I need to go do and see while I'm here?
In Ho Chi Minh, well, have you done the coffee workshop thing? So I thought it's like very trivial, whatever. But we had friends from Phnom Penh who came over, and one of them was like, "Oh, we really want to do this coffee workshop," and we're like, and I thought it was stupid, you
Yeah.
know, because like, who does? I mean,
Yeah.
because one, give me my homemade cold brew, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm not a coffee connoisseur, not in any way. But then so it was fun because it's like there were like bits and pieces of like Vietnamese economy, history, that like why there's like a coffee that has salt, why the cafe soda is made out of like sweet milk. So just like history behind it, and you're like, oh, so it's interesting. But I mean, you should do it with a group of friends
Okay.
that you can laugh at with,
Okay.
because we just made I mean, a good fun out of it. But that was interesting to know how even coffee has the background of, let's say, the economic turmoil that they've had
Yeah.
before.
Like me working super, I had no idea coffee was so big in Vietnam, right? I had no clue until I came here last year.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that one. What else? Have you seen a drag show in your life, Jason? Well, might as well.
I have not at all.
Yeah, so it's like really it's like yeah, drag queens like performing. So fun, so fun.
Yeah.
So we do. We actually had 4 drag queens perform at our wedding in Cambodia. So we did it an island wedding. So like our parents just like loved it. Like most of our friends, it's also their first time seeing a
So
drag
you
show.
got married in Cambodia?
Sorry?
You got married in Cambodia?
We got married in the courthouse in Georgia for the papers, but then we did a ceremony in Cambodia.
Okay.
So family and friends came
How
over.
often does your family come visit you either in Cambodia? And I'm talking about you and your husband's family either visit you in Cambodia or here. Like, have your husband's family come to Vietnam yet?
So no, the family, his parents has been in Cambodia twice. We would go we would see them in the States every summer and then rendezvous somewhere with them. For my parents, my family was just here last August, and then we'll probably see them early next year. So once or twice, especially, yeah, they're not getting any younger.
All right. Well, talk a little bit about how the Vietnam visa works. Like
Oh
I'm
my
here
God.
for a 9-day visa. So you and your husband here, I'm guessing you're on a visa since your husband's job now. Talk about that.
So luckily with my husband's job, I mean, lucky for him, he has his like team, his company working for it. So it's like, but then for me, when I decided to set up my own company, so that was my path to the TRC, the temporary residence card, I think. So that is my path. It's such a pain in the ass. Bureaucracy is insane. Red tape is insane. For example, I had to get a criminal record check at the Department of Justice. I was denied 3 times because a complication in my name, because the police certificate doesn't have my middle name, which usually they don't check. So yeah, so you had to find ways around how to like get it accepted and things like that. But then but there are people. So I work with someone who is working on it for me. So I just don't want to be bothered as well. Yeah.
Can you talk some about the maybe advantage or disadvantage of being like a foreign entrepreneur startup person here?
I think and this was like with one of the people in my cohort, because she was like, "Oh, it's good for you that you're a foreigner at least," because my co-founder is Vietnamese, so they're like, okay, the trust. But then when they learn that I'm still a foreigner, I'm from the Philippines. There's that level of there's that level of specialness in it, you know. I guess it works in my favor, definitely. And not just because I'm a foreigner, but then also and I'm using me being gay in my advantage. Because, for example, a potential client, investor, or partner is a woman, I know how to get in, because like you just tell them that you don't have anything to worry about because you're gay, and they love you. Even the man, because the man will be like, there's no there's no, how would they say, there's no they don't have to like measure you up because you're not a bro. So it's like, so it's an easier conversation too. So and I'm flamboyant, right? So it easily disarms people, especially when they learn that I'm let's say a foreigner. Yeah.
So for Cambodia, right? So I'm here to February 10th. I do want to kind of go to Cambodia,
Yeah,
right?
you should.
Is that like easy to do, hard to do?
The US passport, right? Yeah. You get visa on arrival, several flights. No, you have two, three flights, I think. Vietnam Air, Qatar, and Cambodia Anchor Air. Or you wanna do it cheap. There's like a VIP van, like 5.5 hours, like really like good seats. I haven't tried it, but I think we'll try it. So yeah, just like land border.
Go there for 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Check out. Okay.
But then Phnom Penh is great for people who are living there. Because I heard it from a lot of, like, let's say, travelers that they don't find Phnom Penh as fun, but makes sense, right? Because they're just there for like 2-3 days. But definitely there's a lot of things to do in Phnom Penh.
Well, next, talk about your experience with Founders Institute.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Good. So I came into the program with just the idea essentially. So it's an idea that got validated in my MBA program, and I was like, I believe this will get will take me somewhere. So there are different tracks. There's like validate track, the early stage. So that's where I was. Launch and growth. So what I know is I found it really helpful because it validated everything, like my business model, go to market, everything about it. It's like 2 years of growth in 3 months. So for me, I found it really, really helpful. Also because of the stage where I was. So definitely, like, great to have mentors from different parts of the world, different VCs, having different opinions, and it's a good way to measure your founderness, if I should term that, because like people have way too much 2 cents, right? They would be like, oh yeah, you should do this. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? So it's a good let's say controlled environment to be in, to be at, and to just listen to your gut, and to, like, at the end of the day, reflect, is that what I'm trying to do? Because, and then yeah, it's just like, okay, you build relationships with the people you kind of listen to because you believe they see your point of view, and then you don't really get to build relationships with people that are not aligned with your vision, and that's fine. Yeah.
So how do you deal with it, right? As a founder, I'm figuring all kind of advice from different people, right?
Yeah.
I mean, always good intention, but always not the best advice. How you like decipher all this advice you get that take the one you think what you really need and kind of ignore the ones you don't need?
Yeah, so I just take everything when I'm having a conversation, for example, this conversation I'm having with you, I just take it in. Will make you feel that, I'm taking it all in. Would disagree if I have to, but then I always find it like, giving it a day to like really process it with myself and my co-founder, if that's really like, let's say, a direction or path that we need to take on. But then what I do usually is I just listen. And you have a company, you have an instinct if what that person is saying will help you or not. But then you just park it for now and just try to listen to everything, and then you make those decisions in the private in your house, in your bedroom, really like just trying to think if will help you or not.
So, from your point of view, this is gonna be a two-part question.
Yeah.
First part is like, from your point of view, what needs to happen for your company to be successful? Whatever success if you, whether it's success to be an IPO, making some amount of money per month, or whatever. What needs to happen for you from the
And controversial take. It's like, and this is a way to answer that question. But controversial in the sense that VCs are like, okay, we're early stage, and I do understand, right? I do understand, especially with the economic situation right now, not only in Vietnam, but then in the region, in Asia, in Southeast Asia, that they're trying to be careful. But really, and I heard this from someone said there really is no venture capital, at least in Vietnam, because they're like, okay, we're early stage, but then they're looking for post-revenue companies, which is fair enough, because at the end of the day, they're trying to put that layer of protection for them. But then where are the whole idea of venture capital is the risk, right? I mean, it's the name of the game. And my God, they will hate me for saying
Are you a
this.
VC or you're a small business banker? There's a big difference.
Yeah. But then it's also like they just don't want the risk. To the point that I hear it from other VCs as well, that most of their LPs or GPs are turning to more traditional business models, like a restaurant, mom and pop, because it's proven. But then it's getting harder and harder for tech startups to secure funding. Also because Vietnam hasn't seen a lot of unicorn-backed VC-backed unicorns yet. So, although I understand, it's just like it's hard for startup founder like me to
And so, second part, what has to happen or whether not happen for your company to fail?
What does have to happen? So we're finalizing our product right now. So technology takes time, but then hopefully in the next, like by end of Q2, we're like live in the market. What has to happen is to finish that solution and get my first pilot customers. So really, product market fit is what has to happen. But has not to happen is if I fail in product market fit.
And on your LinkedIn profile, somewhere it says, SkinMatch is committed to supporting local cosmetic businesses. What does that mean and how are you going to do that?
Because so what we're trying to do is to put this layer of like retail solution, tech solution for small and medium business owners. So this is for small and medium skincare shops who doesn't have the resources or the capital to train their sales associates to become skincare experts. So they would come off, the whatever product recommendations they will give their customers as credible. Second, they don't have that resources or capital to create their own retail tech solution. So we're creating an AR skin analysis with AI product recommendations, so their clients can just scan their faces using their mobile phones, the shop owners or the sales people's mobile phones. And then our solution will diagnose the skin, and create a product routine recommendation based on the product portfolio of their shop.
The next, talk about I think so across the world, I mean, a lot of in Asia, especially Korea, like the unrealistic beauty expectations.
Yeah.
How does what are you doing like with skincare, helping like solve that problem, so to speak? Does that make sense?
That's like a really big question, because like as much as I don't want to be part of that problem, right? But at the end of the day, we're trying to look good because we were given a certain level of standard, and that is unachievable unless you won the genetic lottery, right? But then for us, instead of like, because we're not telling people you should look a certain way. So what we're trying to do is to take out that guesswork of okay, what kind of product do I need? What kind of product should I use? We're actually telling them this product is what you need and what is safe for you based on your skin. Because there are a lot of cases that happens, allergies, like not product fit happen. Like they're not only wasting their time, money, but then there's also the danger for them to use products that will not go well with their skin type.
So as far as making having the how makeup is made, is there such thing as like organic makeup versus makeup made from processed material?
Yeah, so it's a big movement right now, especially with Gen Z. So Gen Z is your next consumer, right? Across all industries, across all products. So most of them no, majority of them actually prefer, if my statistics is correct, around 80% of them prefer anything organic, anything sustainable. And that goes for the beauty industry as well. So there's a big move. I know a lot of big brands are creating their own organic or sustainable products, or if not, acquiring existing sustainable smaller brands. And even in Vietnam, there's a big move that one of their biggest local cosmetic and skincare manufacturer is based on sustainability and or organic products.
People don't quite realize that humans, we've been from makeup these since the time of the Egyptians, right? I'm probably way before the pharaohs did it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, why do you think we started doing that, right? I mean, any ideas like we just want to make ourselves look prettier, so to speak, or like stand out, or like
I think that's a in my opinion to really set ourselves apart. I mean, because we have this not we have this history in the Philippines. We call it pintados. It's like the Pacific Islanders, like where it's like just inked all over the body, and they did it to set themselves apart because they're either nobility in the community or they're warriors who have won or killed a lot of, like, let's say, their enemies. So it's always a move to distinguish yourself. And even then, like Cleopatra, like the caveman, like even right now, right? You want to, yes, you're blending in with the trend, but also you're trying to be different and making sure you're distinguishing yourself from the rest of your peers, rest of your community.
so obviously, eventually you want everyone who uses makeup to buy a product, right? Or use a product, right? But right now, are you like targeting like, like female teenagers between 25, like average men 35 to 49, or you have like a certain target market, like trying to like the MVP, so to speak, at first?
So our paying customer is the shop owners. So it's a B2B2C business model, but then the end users are their clientele. So we're not discriminating. So it's like a really
So the shop-
audience agnostic, brand agnostic. For as long as you go to those shops, you can use the solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be like an app,
Yes.
so you can put
Yes.
the phone in front of your face.
Yes.
Nothing. Okay.
Phone and tablet based app.
Okay. And how's like that? You talk about it a little, but how's like the product development going for you so far? Like, are you like ahead of schedule, behind schedule?
Well, behind as I personally wanted it, but then we decided to be smart about it because the core technology, like that AR scan analysis, as well as the AI product recommendation, is done. My CPO, my co-founder, has worked on it.
And the teachers building all this stuff out.
The core technology, but then we're working with an external partner right now to help us develop. But then what we realize is like feedback. So there are valuable feedback that we've received just talking to the shop owners. So we wanted to make sure that we're being smart about it. So we're doing wireframing correctly, UI UX, we're defining it now because we'd rather spend time now than spend time and resources later on. Because we realize if we will not get as much feedback at this point, it will, it will be, it will bite us in the ass later on because those feedback will come in.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of considering it now or when you're developing it, which will be more costly.
And for the business model, is like shop owner going to pay you like a monthly fee
Yes.
per user or like a,
Yes, it's a monthly fee. Yeah.
all right. And so the shop owner, what benefit would they get from using your product?
So we're putting a CRM behind it. So a couple of probably three things. So one is they reported they're losing sales because their customers, like 68% of their customers, do not see them as what you call that, skincare experts, because they're just like, okay, I will eyeball you. What do you need? So we're solving that pain point. Second is we're taking out that resources and time they need to train their sales people, because the technology, the AI and the AR skin analysis and the AI algorithm is doing everything from diagnosing, from the skin diagnosis to matching with what right product that they have to do that. And then third, we learned that once they spend time and money to what you call that, to train their salespeople, these salespeople will then jump to a bigger competitor. So, but then we're taking that danger out because there's really no training, because the salespeople cannot take any knowledge or out of it, because it's the whole algorithm that's doing its thing.
So your product, how does it work for people like maybe have like a lot of acne, like eczema, like skin disease? How's that work for you?
So we have a disclaimer that it's for commercial use. That like anyone with medical as of now, anyone that has a medical condition should consult an actual dermatologist or their doctor. It's in our pipeline, in the horizon to expand it in on that sense. But then we'll need to find the right medical professionals to work with for credibility.
How does it work for, obviously you want to be all over the world, and then
Yeah.
like, how does it work like, different skin tone, different like cultural background, different bones? What kind of how does that play in?
So right now we're starting in Southeast Asian features. Obviously in Vietnam, we're expanding in what you call that, in the region, Philippines, Thailand. So we believe that it's a great start, because of immigration, right? So selling the US or Asian American, so that will definitely fit in that. But then when it comes to catering, let's say a darker skin tone or like a fairer skin tone, it will take time for us. So we'll have to buy or put in different data sets, because right now our data sets is very Southeast Asian, very Vietnamese first, and we recognize that we would need to have those data sets in the beginning, and then later on for the algorithm to learn as we get more users.
The next talk about this, and this might be too far ahead, but I'm
Yeah.
sure you thought about it right. As far as like the data, like how you storing the data, what you doing data, like, obviously, like when people say I'm gonna get hacked, everyone's gonna get hacked, right?
Yeah.
So how do you like protect customers of business data for obviously, Mary Jane Smith doesn't want her
Right.
data about her face being
Right.
like
Oh,
don't
oh,
right. How do you protect against that?
So we're actually already in contact with Amazon Web Services. So it's not yet an official partnership, but then we're checking in, and they know and we know as soon as we get funding and we would have to scale up our infrastructure, we will work with them just to have that layer of credibility, protection, safeguarding. Because we do believe that what we're doing, we're getting tons of consumer data that needs to be protected.
From your point of view, what is too young for someone to start using makeup?
Oh my God. And I think this is me showing that I'm a millennial, right? Because my niece, who's like, and I think she's 12 now, and this started 2-3 years ago, probably when she was 9 or 10. I learned that not only her, but her whole group in school is using skincare. I was shocked that she has way more skincare products than we do combined, and we're gay men.
What?
Yeah, for real. Like,
Are
and
you
this
serious?
yes, no, she's like in Charleston right now, South Carolina. Like But then apparently that's really a thing, and it's a trend now on TikTok, like this, like middle school influencers on cosmetics and what you call that, and skincare product. I mean, it's good for. I mean, commercially, it's good for the manufacturers, for the brands, right? But I'm like, and I'm maybe take it with a grain of salt because I'm not a professional, but like, isn't their skin not yet mature enough
Yeah.
to absorb off?
But I-
And they are using exactly what I would use as a 35-year-old man.
The skin them develop. I would think, right? I mean, like, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not a skin expert, obviously.
Me
but-
too. But we were just taught, right? Like you just need like a facial wash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even after
so-
high school.
yeah, you know.
Start experimenting in college. You know, like, yeah, but like it's a reality. But then now, like, and I read it more, like, and I may benefit from it too, right? Because I'm adjacent to it. That they are the next, oh my God, badly put it, cigarette consumer.
Yeah.
It's like start them young. I mean, they're starting now. So, but that's how it's skincare, right?
Yeah.
And any cosmetic product, as soon as you start it, you should never, unless you have skin problems or skin allergies, but you should not stop. You have to maintain it your whole lives.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of things too about like animal tests on makeup.
Yeah.
Is that really
Sorry again.
like animal tests on makeup? Like people say, don't test animal for makeup, stuff like that. Is that like really a big thing in the community, cosmetic or skincare? Or like, do animals really get tested on this stuff? Is it a bad thing or?
Yeah, like historically, that's how they test like a makeup, right? With animals, and then
And this is the test that makes sure there is no like cancer or something like that, or
no, like how it will react on the skin,
Okay.
like what's the long term, short term effect on supposed human skin later on. So, but then now, even like the big brands, big global brands, I know they're trying to veer away from that. Also because chicken or egg, right? But then I believe it's because it's a consumer driven initiative and not really a brand driven initiative.
I know people usually can make it forever, right? And as far as I know, there's really been no study out, long-term effects as negative, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen anything like that where, somebody you like pounds of makeup every day of their life, and like long-term effect where they got cancer or like some negative disease or
So
change
far,
their look?
so far I have not came across any study, case study, whatever, or any case that it's to that effect. Yeah, but I mean, different kinds of cosmetic, right? Like
Yeah.
surgery, fillers, yeah, of course. But then your usual cosmetic makeup and skincare, aside from skin allergies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, which is
I mean, that's like one-on-one patient.
Exactly.
Nothing.
yeah.
You never allergy, you don't, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So, what do you see as the future of the skincare industry?
One, everything will be like sustainable organic. It's also the market, especially like these kids, right? These kids will be way more earth loving, way more pet animal loving than us. So for sure that direction will just go further. And then second, yeah, there's like it will be really like an influencer kind of industry. I mean, as we see now on TikTok, it's like that hashtag TikTok made me buy it. And it's all on cosmetic and skincare.
So, how about these young kids that are using like makeup at a young age?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking out loud. Do you see in the future maybe like using one of them as an influence for your company?
Sorry?
Like using one of them as an influencer for your company?
Yes. But then definitely we'll have to wait until they're like of right age, right? 18 or 21, depending on where they live.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But then I don't know. Because skincare is like something that can go real well, and probably 90% goes real well, or it can go really bad, right? So I personally do not feel comfortable working with a 9-year-old influencer.
Yeah.
Like there's just so many levels of reservations that I have. on that kind.
So talk some about the importance of skincare. Because some
Yeah.
people are like, I hate to say this out loud, but I never wash my face.
I know, but they're like,
I mean, once in a blue moon, I hardly wash
and
my
look
face,
at
right?
me.
Yeah. And like some people like maybe take the fear like that.
Yeah.
Like 30-minute, I got to do this mud math, blah
Yeah,
blah.
yeah.
Like, I'm sure it makes a difference.
Yeah.
But does it really make a difference?
Yes, and I myself, right? But that's what we're trying to do. Because if you use the right skincare for your right skin needs, then it will actually help you. Because what's happening now, and especially for people, there are two kinds. For people who do not see results, what's happening is one, they don't use the right products for them, or they don't follow their routine. And skincare is a commitment, so yeah, so we're trying to make sure that that layer of like consumers will get the products that they need, will be the first step.
Isn't I'm sure part of a skincare health, but is it part of like basically like pampering yourself, so to speak, right?
Yes.
Like this is my time, this is me time, let me like focus and like do me right now, for lack of a better term.
Right, because like in I mean, in the industry, I mean, like I'm saying that very loosely. For me to say that, like, a skincare is 50% about the products. It's the other 50% is about your lifestyle, like not smoking, working out, eating the right, proper healthy meals, sleeping well. So one side of the equation is using the right products, but then the other side of the equation, which is equally as important, would be taking care of yourself beyond skincare. Yeah.
So I'll ask this question. So you have skin on your body. Then you have different skincare, like your face versus your back of your leg versus your feet versus your
Definitely. So what you use on your feet, Jason, do not use them on your face. Yes, but then it works both ways, right? Because the mixture or the formula that we use on our face is light, that it will not be effective in other parts of our body. And also vice versa, the things that we use in other parts of our body are has higher concentration that we should not use on our face. So definitely there should be a distinction between what you use for your face and other body parts that you have.
So don't do it if you don't want to. It's personal, but can you share your skin health, your skin routine?
Sure. I mean, yeah. So I have a morning routine. So wash my face. I have a toner, two serums, emulsion, and a sunscreen. Because I have to, right? I mean, especially I'm trying to break into this domain.
I mean, we kind of mess up. You got the skincare routine, and your face all fucked up, right? Like, it doesn't look like like bumps and shit, like acne.
I know, and
like,
it's like,
be good, like yeah.
and once in a while, and I think it's in my genes that I would have a breakout, right? It's like, God damn it, especially when you have a meeting,
Yeah.
and you're like, hi, this is what I'm trying to do in life, but you look like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, and then just retinol, because I'm getting older as well, so it's like just trying to avoid wrinkles and fine lines and things.
Okay. So what's your take on Botox? That's came on my mind.
I would, but then and a lot of my friends
Is it risky though? Like, if it backfires like really bad?
not really backfire, but then and they say this, it's one of those things that once you start doing, you should do it for the reason that nothing negative, like, but then and from my observation is because, for example, you're 45, right? You have, let's say, you'll start it and you have a lot of lines in your face. Once you use Botox, you won't see. I mean, you have great skin, Jason. You won't see those lines, so you can't stop. Because once you stop, you're gonna go back or worse. So it's just like a really
It's almost like if I dye my beard
right.
and then 2 months later I don't dye, and
And yeah, so you can never go back. So we're
so you
trying
have to
to
make a connection.
yes. So and I'm afraid of needles. So I'm trying to hold it off, to hold out as long as I can. But then yeah, for sure. I mean, if I have my way, I will do it now. But my husband still is like, let's wait. Okay, yeah.
And so for your company, you first start off like these, lack of a better term, these small mom and pop
Yeah.
store.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are like our primary target audience. But then the more we talk to, let's say, potential customers, potential partners, the more we realize that we should also that we're also now talking to like the spas, beauty salons, even bigger shops, for as long as they would need the solution.
So do you have like a dream customer, like someone like really, really big, like, like a Macy's or
I mean, yes, ideally, right? But then they already have that kind because they would have like a skin analyzer, medical grade. But then the sales people will still need to read it, and they don't have a skincare recommendation attached to it. But then for us, we're like putting on like a full suite solution with that. So I mean, ideally, I would love to be in Sephora. Like, I mean,
yeah, that'd be nice.
that'd be nice. But then Sephora has what you call that? The resources to do it for sure. So
So talk some about, and there's plenty of these, I'm sure, like talk about a few of the challenges you've had so far
Yeah.
building the company.
the challenges is like one, right? Like because B2B is always hard in the sense that, especially when talking to the owners, there's a level of being stubborn that no, we don't need this. And we're like, no, but they will agree that they have those pain points, that they have those like business problems. But then as soon as you talk commercials, they're like, oh, we don't need it. Oh, but like, so those things. But then another thing would be, oh, I think just that. It's just like, we just need that like really like pilot batch of shops who will be like really adventurous enough to like start implementing it, and it will be a domino effect after that.
Let's talk about this, right? I think a lot of founders have a challenge of figuring out the pricing rate.
Yeah.
I'm sure your price will change in the future based on
Yes.
the thing.
Yeah.
But how did you come up with your pricing for right now?
So part of the one of our deliverables in Founder Institute is to test our pricing strategy. So what we did for us is like we surveyed over 100 shop owners, and then so we quantified those shops as like having a revenue of 4,000 to 5,000 a month. Sorry, and then when we ask how much would they be willing to invest in a solution that aims to double, triple their sales and make repeat purchase happen, they all agree that it will be around 10 to 15% of their current monthly revenue, having the North Star that it will double or triple later on. So we're at that 10-13% of their current monthly revenue. But for sure, you're right. It will change as soon as we go to market. Could be higher, lower, or yeah.
Talk about how you doing with customer service, right? They're like these like mom and pop customer stores have 24/7 access to you. Like what was the bug in the platform? Like how you doing with that?
So we're assembling a team of like account managers who will work with them. Yeah, so there will be the line, their through line to our to our development team. So ideally, but I mean, right, once you're in the service industry, you never really sleep. But then, especially in the beginning, it will be a big adjustment with the team. But then, yeah, so definitely assembling an account management team to handle expectations as well on things like that.
For the skincare industry, is there like a surge here? Like I'm guessing like during Christmas, if more people buy skincare products during Valentine's. Is there like third period where people buy more skincare?
So I've learned this in Vietnam, and the biggest surge is before Tet Festival.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Because for the reason that they want to look way better than everyone else when they go home. So that will be around January. Yeah.
Okay. So what are some so you officially started your business in July?
Yes. So we're already incorporated, but then hopefully starting to that the product is out with paying customers already utilizing it and using it in their shops around July.
This might be too early to ask you, but like what's something that you're doing now like really easy for you now? But back in July, I was like, man, this should have kicked my butt, right? Like something like you now like, man, how was it so hard for me? It's the simplest thing you remember.
Oh. I don't know, because I mean, I'm still in the kind of incubation period, right? So everything is still painful.
But let me ask this: what's of all the things you're doing right now? What's one thing you wish you could? Okay, if I could get rid of one thing to someone else, it'd make my life a lot easier.
Because I started as a solo founder, and I've always known if I find my Vietnamese tech co-founder, it will be easier. And it took me probably like a month and a half in the program without my co-founder, and all conversations I've had is about my co-founder. And then once I've had it, he's committed, he's on board, has been helping. Everything is easier, conversation, especially because I'm not a tech
Yeah.
founder. So every conversations, because I know the tech, but then you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So
You know the tech, but if you're the one coding the tech, the company's doomed to fail.
will not even start, So it's easier now. It gives me and the company credibility that I just don't that not do I only know about consumer strategy when it comes to beauty industry, but then the actual technology that it requires is already there and it's possible.
So talk about this. How do you? So this is part of advice from myself, right? So one reason I'm here is like try to find either a tech co-founder or a tech fit person, right?
No.
So talk about how you find your tech co-founder and your like for me to go about finding a tech co-founder or a tech group.
Just for me, I think the advice and my husband had to really like tap me a couple of times, like do not jump on the first tech person that you think is the right fit for you. Because especially for non-tech people, right? You'll be like, oh my God, you know how to do this. You're a solutions architect. You've done this. Let's do it. But then it's actually more than that. Because he's probably the third or the fourth, and even like goes both ways, right? The third or the fourth tech founder that I met before I realized that he's the one that I'm looking for in a co-founder. Like tech is the start of the conversation, but then the vision, really cheesy as it is, cliche as it is, you need to have a certain level of alignment in your values at the very least. Yeah.
So what made you go with this co-founder versus someone else? What's the story about him? Like, okay, this is the person.
Because I mean, his experience, his background is what I was looking for. But then for me, what said it all was when I'm superstitious. I'm from a developing country, right? So when he had used the word, "We're doing this to make our dream come true." So that's immediately it clicked that I'm not just the one who has this vision, but he shares what I'm trying to do, my vision and things like that. So it's just really like dating, like I just realized that, he's like really not just into it, but he really wants to make it happen.
And y'all do like daily meeting?
Yeah. So we meet at least like,
It's only you two right now.
yeah,
right?
two right now. So we were just together yesterday, at least twice a week. We're talking online the whole time, but now there's really no need for us
It's in here, go to the city. Or,
Yes.
So what do you do with this? Like, my experience, a lot of non-tech founders, they have no picture, right? Like, here's my vision, developer. If you ever do this one day,
Yeah.
but in reality, it's like even like the one page of internet takes like 20 pages of code, right? So how do you balance like, hey, dude, I hook you up I need to like hurry this up versus okay, I know there's a lot of code, the
Yeah.
communication.
For me, it's like just trusting that he knows more on that end, because there's a certain level of trust in, for example, the business model, the business strategy. He will have his input, but he would always be like, but I trust your judgment on this. So I have to reciprocate that in the sense that I always tell him my concerns, how, especially when it comes to timeline. Timeline is always right. But like what you said, I have zero idea on how thing is built. So if he says this is how much it's gonna take, how long it's gonna take, then I'm taking his word for it. Also because I know that he's already considered every possible way to make it faster, to make it cheaper, to make it more convenient and comfortable for the both of us.
Now, this guy, I'm presuming you're like a born and raised in Vietnamese.
Yes. Yeah.
So was he? I'm guessing his English like pretty good as yours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like when it comes to communication,
Pretty
yeah,
thinking power.
and it's like a tech guy, right? So it's like very straightforward.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that because like I'm the person who has to like navigate. So at some point, I mean,
Yeah.
for you too, right? You have to like go in circles, but then he's like, okay, so I appreciate that.
Okay. And then can you talk about how you decided to do the equity split between you and him?
Easy. And I know it's unconventional or unorthodox because I was I was a solo founder, but then it was easy for me to split the equity 50-50 because I recognize that without him this will not happen. That without him this is just an idea. He really is making it happen.
I'm sure the people at FI told you, hey, do any equity splits at 50-50. Everyone still don't do that, right?
Yeah.
So what was your answer to that? That's just what you wanted.
Good for you, but then it's like, but that's what I mentioned earlier, right? Like a lot of people has so many inputs in what you're doing, but then it felt right for me. It felt right, and also because I want to foster that culture, like that environment of like transparency and the trust of like, and it goes both ways, right? Okay, you have 50% of the company, so you're incentivized
In
more.
reality, right now, 50% of nothing right now, right? Like I joke around all the time when I tell people, hey,
Oh no!
to me, it's like if you tell someone, hey, I'm gonna give you 10% of equity, that's like me telling you, hey, see that pot of gold there,
Right.
oh, it's yours. I just probably you're not getting the pot of rainbow.
Or like you see that business registration certificate.
Yeah.
It's like 50-50 at this point, but like really means nothing, right?
Yeah. So what's been like something fun for you as far as being an entrepreneur so far?
That I'm stressing out for myself because like what I said, like advertising has been so traumatic, and like this is me like tooting my own horn, but then I've made people a lot of money and I've never saw that money on my end. So at least now I'm like slaving. I'm like, okay, I'm not sleeping, but because it was the same thing when I was in advertising, but I never see the results really. I never see, the sales because it's all in the business owners' pockets.
Do you have like a set schedule every day that you follow, or you,
Yes.
are you like we can get, or you have a schedule?
Yeah, so I try to stick with a Monday to Friday. That's where to spend at least like 6 hours on like, I'll do my thing in the morning and then at night, but then to make sure that, meeting people, working on what needs to be done legally, like accounting, potential partners, potential customers, and like helping looking over the tech development as well.
So how do you balance between like networking and actual working your product? First, networking is kind of working your product. You meet people.
Yeah.
Because about how do you balance like here in Summer City, you do like 2-3 networking, but a day easy, right? But does it really build your company? So how you balance that?
And I like thank God for my advertising experience and me being gay, really, because like for some reason it's easy for me to know if it will be beneficial or not. I mean, it's not my gut feel on something like it will lead to something or not, or like because you have also to be wise in let's say trying to see if this meeting will go somewhere or it will just be like a dead end meeting, right? Yeah. So as much as possible, I try to avoid meetings that I think are not leading to anything. But that's on the same token, I try to meet as many people as possible. In the beginning, I tried to be present in all the networkings in Ho Chi Minh, but then I've been to a few now that I look at the people who are going, and if there's no one that I really want to meet, I just skip it and then use it in like more useful.
So FI ops, you got a lot of FI where you're in there. But the FIA do anything for y'all after you're like a graduate,
So
postgraduate?
connections one, I wish they would just like help us when it comes to like the funding, but then it's an accelerator program that does not offer funding, which is fine. Going into it, we're completely aware, but then now we're applying to be on the because we did the core program, and then there's a second program that helps global founders that FI will help them pitch in their pipeline of investor angels and VC Saman. So I'm trying to get into that program. It was, supposed to start late January. So hopefully we get in.
This might be too early for you too, but whom do you think or what position you think is going to be your first hire?
For me, I want like business development just to help, because at the end of the day, I'm new in the market, you know. It will help if someone speaks Vietnamese, especially talking to the to the shop owners. A business development person, definitely. But then I'll be there the whole way. For my co-founder, for sure, definitely like a
Yeah, another coder.
product owner
Yeah.
or another coder, definitely.
If CTO is like, you talk about wireframe and stuff. Are you doing the wireframe and he's doing it? You're combining to do the wireframe and then use the design and stuff like that?
So we're working with an external partner. He's the one leading it. I'm part of all the conversations, but then it's more like on a business strategy level. But the wireframing is taking care of everything. Also because I don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Hey, so is there any times that I actually haven't asked you yet? Or anything else you want to talk about?
That's it. That's it for me. It's like it's been really fun.
Okay. Can you share your social media ways for people to reach out to you?
Sorry?
Can you share for ways for people to reach out to you?
Share for ways I reach out to. Being new in the market, LinkedIn, and literally, I would hit my weekly limit to connect, because I just connect to everybody, and then just like cold messages, because like it leads to something, right? A meeting, whatever, or a connection or introduction. But like LinkedIn, especially for founders, I think, and at least in Vietnam, it's very useful. And then once you got introduced to these VCs, it's just like a domino effect. It will come in easier for other things.
Yeah, so you talk about a lot of great things. What we got to give about? Give us any advice on anything you want to talk about?
No, for like people who are thinking of building their own company, and for sure you will share this, like think hard, because there are easier things in life to do than this. Because I've always wanted to do this. Like I brought this upon myself, but then you never really, you know, you hear stories, whatever, online, friends, family, but then you never realize how heavy it is, the toll it can take on you and your support system until you're in the thick of it. So think, but then if you look back, right, you're like, even 3 months from now, you're proud of where you're at now. So rewarding, definitely, but very difficult.
So follow up on that. How you do this, right? I think a lot of founders are like, they're in the forest, in the trees,
Yeah.
and they forget, hey, I'm struggling now, but if I look back 6 months, I made all this progress, right? So you make sure you do that on a day-to-day basis.
So what you call that? I have this like timeline of like how 12 to 18 months of a typical startup company looks like. And then it's like -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. And gladly we're crossing that 0 to 1 now in like 3 months, really, or 4 months. So it's like, so having just that, having like small milestones written from a template and not like something you made up, because of course you can adjust whatever you want, right? But then having like a template that you can follow and just like ticking off the list, then it's easier to look back and be like, no, you've made progress. You just have to keep your head down and continue working.
Mark, thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much. That was so fun.
And to our listeners, thank you for your time as well. And remember to be great every day.
Yeah.